Welcome to Starchaeology Tarot, home to tarot readings for anyone ready to dig deep and break inner ground. I'm Desi, your Starchaeologist, aka tarot reader, and guess what? I love you, truly. If you're here for the first time, welcome. This is not a coincidence. If you're returning, shout out to the Starchaeology constellation. I'm so grateful that you're a part of the cluster. Before we begin, I want to take a moment to thank you for being an intentional member of the Star Cluster here. I'm so beyond grateful for you, and if you are hoping to receive blessings, I invite you to start by giving a blessing. Please like this video and subscribe to this channel right now. Give the abundance you wish to receive. Now, let's begin. Today we're taking a look at where you are in love. If you're struggling, we'll be examining those obstacles so that you can rise above them and manifest the blessings waiting for you on the other side. This is deck number 1. This is deck number 2. This is deck number 3. This is deck number 4. Which pile calls to you? It could be one or it could be multiple. You could also listen to the readings for all 4 piles and receive resonant messages from all of them. Listen to your intuition. When you're ready, use the timestamps below to jump to the reading of your choice. I'll see you there. Hello, constellation who chose pile number 1. Calling in your guides and your angels. What are the messages for pile number 1? Okay, pile number 1, 4 of discs, 3 of cups, and the devil. Wow, pile 1. This is really, really powerful. So we're going to start with these cards and then we'll pull a few more later in the reading. I'm getting different messages for different members of the constellation here, so please listen up and listen through for the messages that are yours. 4 of discs. Some of you are in a position right now with love where you feel like you have a lot to show for yourself relationship-wise. Maybe you are in a relationship. Maybe you have some level of commitment with someone. But there's a real attachment. There's real attachment and fear that goes along with this commitment, and more specifically with losing this commitment, losing what you've achieved in the realm of love so far. It's like you've checked certain boxes, or you've developed a certain level of security and stability, as 4s often show and represent, but it's like very base level security. It isn't living in a place of true abundance, which is also true flow. There's still a level of control that I'm seeing from you, pile 1, where you really are trying to control everything, even though you do have security, you do have stability. You still may be micromanaging your love life in some way, or your relationship in some way, or even your single life in some way, because you're afraid of losing what you already have. And it's really like what I see often with the 4 of Pentacles is it's a kind of like white knuckling your way through an experience. You know, you're really holding on for dear life because you're more afraid of letting go than anything else, of seeing where things go. I think some of you, you want something to work out so bad that it's more about controlling the path than then allowing the path to affect you. You know, you're giving a lot of power to the path itself rather than seeing yourself as the authority, giving that power to yourself and being the ultimate decision maker in your love life. It's almost like, if I can control my surroundings well enough, if I control this other person well enough, if I can control how this is going well enough, then I won't have to make hard decisions, is what I'm hearing. The irony of the Four of Pentacles is that it's only a four. You know, it's, yes, there's achievement here. Yes, there's accomplishments here. There's a level of security and stability, but it isn't this kind of free security and stability. It isn't a security and stability that feels expansive. It's a kind that feels still fearful, where you're still worried, perhaps from past experiences, past trauma. You're still afraid of losing things or things going wrong. And so where security and stability should feel good, it actually feels like it just raised the stakes for you. It makes you feel like more stressed out in a way, because now you have something that you actually really value and want in your life. But as I was saying, the irony of the four is that it's only a four. You know, you still have this whole journey towards the 10 when it comes to creating a really strong earthly foundation. You know, this foundation of really solid love in your life, and one that is completely unconditional, because there's still conditionality with this Four of Pentacles. That's why there's the need for control. That's why there's the need for white knuckling, because it doesn't feel unconditional. Whether that's coming from something outside of yourself, or it's coming from you and your own baggage. But pushing through this stage and actually letting go when it feels contrary to what your instincts want you to do. You know, turning things over to a power greater than yourself, whatever it is you believe in, having less control or needing to exert less control over how the situation goes, but instead just being present in it and let it and see what it has to teach you. You know, by doing that, by letting go in that way, that's what moves you out of this false sense of security and stability towards the direction of the 10, which is true security and stability and abundance. It's like you may have certain things in your hand that you're grasping right now. You know, there's blessings that you're holding on to very tightly. But to receive more blessings, you have to loosen your grip. You have to open your hand to receive. Otherwise, you're gripping so tightly that you also refuse the future blessings that could be coming to you. And so there needs to be this better balance of controlling what you can control and loosening, letting go of what you can't. What I'm seeing, the Three of Cups here, you have a really strong, okay, this is different messages for some of you. You have a very strong support system, and yet here you are still trying to control everything yourself. Whether this support system is your friends and family, who will always have your back, regardless of the romantic relationship you're in, or this is true friendship within your partnership. It could be either one. It's this support that is, it's like nudging in and begging you in a way, like begging you to loosen some of that control, to give up some of that control, to allow yourself to be supported. Because when we're in a Four of Pentacles mindset, the only person we allow to support us is us, because that guarantees more control. Three of Cups, real connection, real emotional support, real friendship, real community.
that means letting go of control because you trust another person with having some of that control. You trust another person to support you in addition to how you support yourself. And in a way, that is threatening. It's actually this true friendship and support that may be threatening the part of you that is trying to control everything. And you're maybe trying to block that out, like, nope, I don't need a real friend right now. I don't need that from you. Because really what it's threatening to is your ego. But it's seeking to expand the more divine part of yourself, the super ego. And the super ego is crowding out the ego here, which is incredibly terrifying for the ego. For others of you, I'm getting another message, which is that you have certain things in your life that are all under your control. Your ducks are in a row. It's like, this is how my life is, this is how it works. And then there's a blossoming connection that is threatening to that in some way. It's threatening to your sense of control. It's threatening to what you have achieved. Or let me rephrase, you perceive it is threatening to what you have achieved and the stability that you have. But what I want to say is that this is not false. This is a really true emotional deep connection. And if anything is going to threaten your sense of control and order in your life, and security, the security blankets that you have in place, if anything is going to threaten that, let it be a true emotional connection. Let it be something that forces you to step outside yourself and put your faith in something outside of your own power, whether it be in divine power, in friendship, in love, romantic or platonic. True connection is what expands us out of this kind of limited way of living and limited way of thinking. We think we're powerful here. We think we're powerful because we control everything, but really we're limited. We're incredibly limited. We need others. We need something outside of ourselves to take us beyond the limits of our own power. Now, what's waiting for you on the other side of that is absolutely incredible. It's an acceptance of your shadow side. It's an acceptance of the things that maybe you have falsely judged within yourself, pile one. Things that you've thought, oh, this is a bad part of me, or this is a part of me that no partner will ever like. This is a part of me that no one can ever accept, and so I can't accept it because it's bad or it's wrong in some way. More than anything, what this leads you to is you accepting the parts of yourself that you have deemed bad or unlovable in some way. And it's only through that then you are able to allow yourself, or allow those parts of yourself, to be loved by someone else, to be supported, to be accepted by someone else. For someone else to accept our shadow side, and we all have shadows. We all have shadows. Those shadows are not going anywhere. For someone else to accept those shadows, in other words, to provide us unconditional love, as I was talking about before, we have to provide that for ourselves. We have to accept our shadows. We have to offer ourselves unconditional love. Because if we can't do that, then we can never expect anyone else to do that. So what's waiting for you on the other side, pile one, is true acceptance of your shadow self. And what I see too with the devil is a liberation from negative patterns that have maybe kept you limited in some way. A liberation from these false senses of security and stability, and bursting into a life that challenges these boxes that you have, these comfort zones that maybe you have built around yourself. It's a life that takes you outside of those spaces, expands you into something more, allows you to be supported by other people, by true connection. And put your faith in other people, put your faith in other people, put your faith in true connection. And it's a much looser, more in flow version of abundance, stability, and security, because it isn't dependent on these super specific conditions that you need to have, but instead it comes from deep within yourself, regardless of those conditions. So I see you escaping. Another way of thinking this is liberating yourself from old cycles in love that no longer serve you. I see this as you liberating yourself from past relationships that have been, maybe multiple relationships, but the same problem keeps happening. It's just this same pattern that keeps happening. And the reason why you're breaking free of that is because you're valuing true connection over maybe more superficial requirements that create the illusion of safety and security, but aren't really offering true safety and security. This is incredibly hopeful, Pile 1, for your love outlook. I do want to pull just a few more cards to see if there's any other messages in here for you. Oh my God, 9 of Cups in reverse, Princess of Wands. Oh my God, Pile 1. Yeah, so with this kind of liberation and this acceptance of your shadow, you experience true healing. You experience a dream come true. The thing that is stopping you from, that is blocking a dream from coming true, that is blocking wish fulfillment, is this micromanaging, this intense control, attachment to things in your life being a certain way because you think you need them, you think they create security, you think that they create stability, you perceive them as achievements that you can't let go of. That is the exact thing, the thing that you think you need, that you are white knuckling, that you are holding on to so tightly. That's exactly the thing that is blocking wish fulfillment for you. I can't get over this being in reverse here, and then the star, which is 9 of Cups on steroids, being in this position, which I'm interpreting as the blessing that's on the other side of this challenge. Liberating yourself, accepting your shadow, offering a more generous perception of the things that you have really poorly judged within yourself. This is the root of real healing. It's the real root of a wish coming true for you. It is a dream come true in itself, and it also unlocks the door to a dream come true in love. And it starts with you. Princess of Wands. This is very interesting. This makes me think that this support, this giving and receiving of love of the 3 of Cups, this really true connection, free-flowing friendship, unconditional friendship, is definitely linked to a new person in your life, or a specific person. Maybe they're an old person in your life, but they're a person in your life who represents a kind of appetite for living, and this desire to try new things, to follow certain passions, and they don't necessarily have any direction or course of action. It's more that this person is full of unbridled energy of possibility, and they feel that energy, that excitement burning inside them, and it's that is bringing into focus a new path that is one led by true passion and desire, as opposed to obligation or even certain beliefs. It's nothing really cerebral, it's instinctual. This person could be offering this kind of support and friendship for you in your life. This also could be representative of you. This is a version of you that is released when you actually feel supported, when there actually is this free flow, this giving and receiving of real unconditional love. And maybe that's why this is so threatening to this Four of Pentacles, because this is a version of yourself that you are afraid of. You may be afraid to see the version of yourself that has this kind of lust for life and desire to pursue passions, to actually pursue their truest passions. It becomes a journey of discovery rather than a journey of control. Very different journeys, very different paths. Pile 1, this is so exciting. Please tell me what is up with you in the comments. I want to hear so bad. If you haven't liked or subscribed, please do so, and check out my Patreon in the link below. I love you very much. I'll see you next time. Hello, Constellation, who chose Pile 2. Calling in your guides and angels. What are the messages for Pile 2 regarding love, regarding connection, regarding partnership? Okay, Pile 2. Six of Wands in reverse. Seven of Cups. Oh my God, and the Nine of Discs. Wow, what an important message today. I'm going to pull more cards in a bit, but let's just start with these guys, Pile 2. So Six of Wands, you may be feeling like a big failure right now in love. And I use that language because that is the language of the critic inside you. That's not the language of the truth, but I think it's important to bring that language to light, especially if you aren't aware of it, especially if you're not aware of the way that maybe you're talking to yourself regarding your potential for love and your lovability. I think those things go hand in hand. The potential for how much you can love and how much you can receive love. This is Six of Wands being in reverse almost feels like this I can't win mentality. Like, I just can't win. Like, winning is blocked for me. There's this feeling of just like, it's impossible. It's not an option that's available to me, which is so heartbreaking. And I want to say also, it is not the truth. In fact, I want to go ahead right now and pull. Oh my God. Oh my God. Ace of Discs. Wow. Eight of Swords. Okay. Okay. So Nine of Wands. Six of Wands. And it's paired with the Universe in reverse. So that tells me that this feeling of like, I can't win, winning victory it's just not in the cards for me, it's just not available to me, is very much linked to this avoidance of work that will transform you. It's like this avoidance of not only changing your world, your inner world, but also allowing your perception of the world to change. I think this feeling of I can't win is very much linked to a worldview you have that's like, it's a backwards, it's an upside down view of the world that is very closely tied with your feelings of failure or like this inability to get what you want. It's so embedded in a specific worldview you have, that really is not generous to you or to the people around you. And it's interesting seeing both of these in reverse, because it suggests that to turn this into, to shift your perception into one that says, of course I can win, of course I can experience victory in love, I can achieve what I want to achieve. it goes hand in hand with the world or the universe being reversed as well. Your worldview actually changing. Understanding the duality of life, which is what the world is largely about. Acceptance of duality, acceptance of extremes, and not allowing those extremes to pull us in one direction or the other, but instead remaining balanced in the middle and holding space for the two. I see this feeling of like, I can't accept or I can't win as being very much tied to an extreme worldview. It's like never say never, or never say always either. Those are extremes. The reason we don't say those is because they eliminate the nuance in life, and the nuance is where the truth always lies. So when we subscribe to some kind of absolute belief, we are subscribing to an extreme belief. We have an extremist belief about love and about our path in love. And that is the exact opposite of what the world is about. The world is non-extremist. The world is about harmony. It's the harmonizing of dark and light. It's the harmonizing of giving and receiving. It's the harmonizing of male and female energies. All the things that feel opposite. Those things aren't trying to, each of those things isn't trying to cancel out its opposite. It's not trying to cancel out its opposite like it's arch nemesis. Instead, the thing needs its opposite in order to exist. Light needs darkness in order to exist. Darkness needs light. Our shadow needs light in order to exist. And they need each other, even though they are different and they won't ever blend together. They need each other in order to exist in this world, to actually be acknowledged, to be recognized. It's like thinking of, if the only color in the world was blue, we wouldn't have any concept of what color is. We wouldn't know what blue is, even. So this is a real resistance to the acceptance of duality in our world, and that being very much linked to this I can't win attitude, or this feeling of being a failure. This also, another way of thinking about this is clinging very rigidly to an ultra specific concept of yourself or of love. And that is what's linked to this I can't win attitude. Because if you're defining winning by this very narrow definition, then of course you're going to be blind to so much more it could be. Now, Seven of Cups is here, and it's paired with the Ace of Discs, and this is what is threatening to this Six of Wands. These are conflicting energies that I'm seeing for you right now. So while you may be feeling this, this may be your perception about yourself and about love and the world right now. Seven of Cups is offering a lot of sudden emotional possibilities that may be very confusing, and they're all linked with some really specific new opportunity that's like a tangible opportunity, not just an emotional like flight of fancy, like let me imagine my life if I were to walk down this path. That's Seven of Cups, of just having so many feelings that are clashing with each other, and they're all affecting each other, and you're lost in this feeling melting pot that is really chaotic and very, very confusing. But that is linked to that you may be feeling all these feelings because of some new tangible opportunity in your life. This Ace of Discs, something new that has come to you or is coming to you. It's a new opportunity, a new job opportunity. It could be a new date, it could be a new, really it can be a new anything that you would define as a thing. That is Ace of Discs, that is Ace of Pentacles. Something new in the physical world that's this tangible new opportunity or new door opening for you that is making you feel a lot of things. And maybe it's because it is a win that it is threatening this worldview you have of I can't win, or victory is not for me, it's for others, but it doesn't belong to me. And then here you are having something handed to you almost out of the blue that causes such a chaos of feelings, because it's threatening this extremely rigid worldview of yourself and love in your life. What is on the other side of this? If you're able to accept this and allow it to change what you believe, allow it to turn upright these maybe upside down feelings that you have about yourself and about the world. What happens if you stew in this melting pot of feelings and explore them, really see where they take you, see what has truth in it and what doesn't. What's on the other side of this is this Nine of Discs. Meaning you ultimately have every potential you need to achieve what it is that you do want in love. But it comes at compromise. It comes with sacrifice. And this is not sometimes a message that we want to hear when we want things to be perfect in a certain way. Of course, we'll always be failing by the definition of perfect, because perfect isn't real. So that reframes even this worldview that you have, even the definition of failure or what winning means to you. Because if those definitions are built around perfection, which is something that is not real in our world, then you've trapped yourself, pile 2. But this is suggesting, Nine of Discs is about such great abundance, such incredible achievement that means more because of the struggles she went through, because of the things that she compromised very consciously. She had to put thought into what she was going to compromise, what she was going to sacrifice in this journey towards getting what she wanted. And she doesn't regret those sacrifices. In fact, she looks at them and feels grateful for them. She feels grateful for the challenges she faced and those hard decisions that she had to make, because it makes the achievement, the ultimate achievement, that much sweeter. It makes it feel much more meaningful because she gave a lot in order to receive. What are you giving, pile 2, in order to win? Or are you saying, I won't give anything, and then you continue to tell yourself this story that I can't win? It's really interesting. This being clarified by the Eight of Swords is even more interesting. What this suggests to me, pile 2, is the part of yourself that you need to compromise is a victim mentality. It's this thought pattern, this loop, this way of thinking that is actually keeping you a prisoner of your own mind, a prisoner of your own making. It's keeping you isolated. It's keeping you isolated, though, from the things that you actually consciously claim to want. And interesting, we don't have a swords card here, but because I don't think you're thinking about this as a mentality. I think you're thinking about this I can't win as just a fact. When the truth is, victory, this achievement, Nine of Discs, achievement and abundance, and finally experiencing this great achievement at the end of a really trying journey, that is dependent on looking at a perspective shift in you. that is dependent on examining contradicting opinions, contradicting beliefs, versus the things that you say you also want. And that's where the sacrifice lies. That's where the compromise lies. It makes us reframe this as being like, this is something that you are taking as fact, when actually it is a thought pattern. It's a belief system. This is so encouraging, pile 2, especially seeing this 9 of discs here on the other side of this, and this ace of discs. Like, you have a real opportunity here, whatever that is, however that's taking shape, to change something in your life, to allow something that came to you to change you, to say yes to that thing, and allow it to shift you into something new, allow it to transform you into something new. Don't fight the thing that is good for you. Don't fight the thing. Don't be begging to be rescued and then fight what's been sent to rescue you. Resist what's been sent to you from the divine to pull you out of this place you've been stuck in mentally. The sacrifice that you have to make is one that lives within yourself. It's a belief system, it's a way of thinking, it's a thought loop that is continuing to hold you back, but also hold you separate, hold you isolated. And as soon as you sacrifice that, then you come into union. Please leave a comment below, pile 2, and let me know what's going on with you. I so want to hear. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Check out my Patreon if you want to support this work for $3 a month. I love you very much, and I'll see you next time. Hello, constellation who chose pile 3. I'm calling in your guides and angels. What are the messages about love, partnership, union for pile 3? Ten of Wands, pile 3. Oh my god, the sun. And strength. Are you kidding me with this reading? Okay, I'm going to pull more cards shortly, but let's just start with these. Pile 3, what I'm seeing for you is you are finding yourself in a Ten of Wands space with love right now, meaning that there is a spiritual trial for you that is coming to an end, and it is synonymous with you feeling like this is the very last straw of something, like feeling that one more, add one more straw to your burden, and that's the straw that breaks the camel's back. Ten of Wands represents incredible burden that you're carrying, and I see that as obligation to others, or maybe to one other person, but obligation no less to things that are not really coming from you and your desire, your inner compass. There's a lot of people pleasing wrapped up in the Ten of Wands space, and for whatever reason that is rearing its head right now regarding your journey with love and partnership and union, and even just growth in love. You know, maybe you are in a relationship already, but this is about maybe you're in a relationship already, but this is just about recognizing what burdens you are carrying then in that relationship, partnered or single. I also see many of you with the Ten of Wands, you're finding yourself spread very thin right now. It's like you're spread too thin when it comes to love, when it comes to devoting what you want to this journey for yourself, to this pursuit, or to this practice, the practice of love. and it feels like this imagery is really incredible, and I'm not sure if this is intended to be a phoenix, but I find it fascinating that you have all of this fire there, and you're not allowing it to burn what needs to be burned in order to spark a regrowth, to spark a rebirth. It's like I have so much fire, and it is so much work managing all this fire, managing all these desires, the clashing desires of me and other people in my life, managing all this action, all this intention and will, whether again it's yours or other people's, and maybe they're clashing, maybe they're taking you in so many different directions that you can't really actually discern where your will even wants to take you. And it's actually separated. It's like it's kept you separate from your will. It's kept you separate from the rebirth of your desire, of lighting something up inside you. It's the difference between having a fire burning within you versus you burning in a fire. And Ten of Wands is very much you are burning in the fire right now, but you need that fire internally. You need that, you want to feel that on the inside. You don't want it to destroy you. You want to use it and capitalize it on it to take you somewhere, to transform you, to move you into the next phase of your life. But instead it's like you're suffering in it. What is clashing with that energy is the light being shown on something in your life, something coming to light, some truth, some truth, all for your greater good, all for your success, all for your ultimate achievement and your growth. The sun grows, and when we see light as truth, when we see something coming to light as the truth, then what this really suggests is that it's the truth that grows you, pile 3. It's acknowledging the truth of something that grows you, that moves you into the next phase of your existence, into your next life cycle. And I see a resistance here. It's like, again, that the light of that fire is being kept from touching the parts of you it needs to touch. It's like there's something in this situation of being committed to so many different things, of being spread so thin, of having too many cooks in the kitchen regarding like your path. Wow, and the flame just randomly went out right now. I just want to point that out because we're talking about fire, and we're talking about something not lighting up for you, and the flame literally goes out right now. Nothing touched that candle. You can rewind. But it's like allowing certain fires to burn that are harmful to you, and then blocking out the fire that actually would be enlightening. Like smothering the fire that actually would set your life ablaze for the good. Smothering out the fire that would shine the light on the truths that you need to know. There's something waiting for you to be discovered regarding the burden that you're carrying, regarding the obligation that you have to other people. What is the truth of that situation? What is the truth of the obligations that you carry, of the other people's wills that you carry regarding love? What is the truth of that? Because it's the truth, it's the sun shining on something here that will bring something to light here that will free you, that is intrinsically connected to your success, to your achievement, to your growth. Allowing the sun, allowing the truth to grow you. Of course, I want to pull 3 more cards actually before we even touch strength. Wow, Wheel of Fortune in reverse, 5 of Discs in reverse, 7 of Swords. So just to clarify these now, I mean, this is fascinating, seeing Wheel of Fortune with the 10 of Wands. This can represent
unexpected or unplanned changes regarding these 10 wands, this burden that you're managing. But it also can suggest that you're feeling helpless. You're feeling at the mercy of your circumstances. You're feeling at the mercy of this burden of people pleasing, of carrying other people's will for you in place of your own, or carrying so much that it just completely blinds you to your own will and to your own desire. This also could suggest that even change that is forced upon you, an unexpected change that comes to you, you may be resistant to that because you're just resistant to change, as we all are. And that's no criticism of you, pile 3, because we're all resistant to change. And it's this resistance to change that's ironic here, because it's like you may be very good at balancing these 10 wands. You may be very good at carrying this burden. And the unknown could be scary. Maybe you're afraid of things becoming worse. This is, you at least know this. This is at least familiar. But don't fight to keep alive something here that you don't want to keep alive, that you don't want to be carrying. Don't fight to keep carrying the burden that you actually really want to set down. That's what this resistance may mean. And you can't stop the sun rising. You know, the sun rising and the light shining on certain things, you can't block out the light. You cannot block out the light. It's very hard to do that. And it may be invading crevices here where it's shining truth on certain things about your situation, and resisting that is futile. Resisting that truth is completely futile. Like, that, of course, is going to be forced upon you. So you can move with the sun, or you can suffer as you do your best to resist it and ultimately fail. The sun also is linked, is being clarified here by the 5 of discs, which is in reverse. 5 of discs often signifies like a poverty mindset, a scarcity mindset, feeling of not being enough, not having enough, not doing enough. And this is completely reversed, which tells me that this sun, this truth, the success that is threatening, the truth and success that is threatening your burden, the light of the truth of you that is threatening this burden, is very much linked to actually reversing a scarcity mindset. It's the truth here. Part of this truth is knowing that you are enough, that you do deserve better than this. Maybe the reason you resist changing this is because you think you deserve this, but you actually don't. Oh, I have goosebumps, pile 3. This is such an important message. And then strength and 7 of swords. I mean, what is on the other side of dealing with this obstacle, of letting this time of this spiritual trial of carrying this burden end, letting that end and saying yes to the light shining upon you, moving towards the sun, admitting to yourself that you are enough, that you have this abundance that's forcing its way into your life, whether you resist it or not. What's on the other side of that is this reversal of the 7 of swords, which is about being truthful with yourself, no longer betraying, self-betraying. And that requires great strength. And when we talk about strength card, this is not brute force. Strength, famously, redefines strength through a much more feminine lens, meaning it's strength through gentleness. She's not beating the lion into submission. She's showing strength over the lion through gentleness and building trust. And that's ultimately what makes her strong when facing off with this lion, which of course the lion represents our inner desires, our inner demons, parts of ourselves that we've deemed wild and bad in some way, scary maybe.
she approaches those parts of ourselves with this gentle, enduring strength. And that is very much linked to seeing certain betrayals for what they are. This could be self-betrayal because of what you have agreed to up until this point throughout this spiritual trial, and then this revelation of the sun is very much linked to seeing how you've betrayed yourself in certain ways, or even betrayed your own strength. Like, you've been strong enough to get out of this for a very long time, and now what you experience is actually seeing that you are strong enough, even though you've betrayed yourself up until this point by not believing that you were. But this also, if it's not a self-betrayal, if that's not resonant, this also could be about seeing ways that other people in your life may not have been upfront or honest with you. And that, please take that or leave that, whether it's resonant. Like, that could be in the sense of some kind of betrayal, someone who's very hard to understand and is like secretive in certain ways, and it's just like, wow, I didn't really know the real you until now. But it also could be on a much smaller scale. It doesn't have to be this dramatic, like, wow, this person betrayed me, that has such drama to it. It could just be that this person was well-intentioned and was doing their best with what they had in this situation. But now you're able to understand them in a deeper way, like at a level that was blocked off from you before. And now you're able to have that understanding of them that just makes you see inconsistencies in maybe who they really are versus who they genuinely believe that they are. And it may take strength to act on that, to heal that, to embrace the sun, embrace the truth of who you are, even if that is threatening to these contracts that you have with other people. But if you're able to really embrace the truth of who you are and the truth of the situation, and that your success is linked to you saying that you are enough in love, in relationship, then it may make it very easy for you to allow things to end that need to end, because you know who you are and you know what you're worth, and you don't have space or tolerance for inauthenticity. You may not have the space or tolerance for people who are not showing up in the most honest way to you, whether it's intentional or truly it's just it's a result of their own lack of self-awareness. This is incredibly encouraging, pile 3, and I hope you see it that way, especially with the sun being just a central part of this spread and strength being here, on the other side of this experience. I see you becoming so much stronger. You becoming so much stronger when you embrace the truth of who you really are, and then that allows you to embrace also the truths of others that maybe have been shielded from you up until this point. That only sets you up for moving through your love journey after this from a much more authentic and honest place, which, guess what, makes it easier. I would love to hear how this looks for you in your life, pile 3, so please comment below and share if you feel called to. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do so, and I love you very much. I'll see you next time.
Hello, constellation who chose pile 4. Calling in your guides and angels, pile 4. What are the messages about love that pile 4 needs to receive at this precise moment? Messages about love, companionship, partnership, union, understanding the light and the shadow. Okay, pile 4, we have the Ace of Discs. We have the Two of Cups in reverse. We have the King of Wands in reverse. I'm going to go ahead and pull more cards. 9 of Wands, clarifying that Ace of Discs. We have the 7 of Cups. And wow, 2 Kings in reverse. Fascinating. So what I'm seeing here, pile 4, you're in a moment where you're getting, you have some sort of opportunity regarding love. We asked about love, we asked about partnership. Now this isn't necessarily you falling in love. This isn't Ace of Cups, but there's an opportunity, like a physical opportunity for you in love, whether that's a date coming up, that's someone pursuing you, that's a new person who's just walked into your life that you find interesting, that you're curious about, or even just like a new resource. Maybe it's joining a dating app, maybe it's working with a matchmaker, maybe there's something there. Also, for those of you who are already partnered, this is like a physical gift to your partnership in some way. Maybe it's starting therapy. Maybe it's some new physical blessing or reward that directly impacts your partnership, like having a new home, getting a new home together, moving in together, having a new job situation that really benefits your partnership in some way. Now, it's linked with the 9 of Wands here, which is about knowing the line between being well defended versus being overly defensive. And so I see you, pile 4, as being kind of on guard regarding this new opportunity. You know, I'm hearing like, it's too good to be true, or it's, you know, I can't trust it completely. I can't really know what it is. I can't be fooled by the newness of this thing and think it's, you know, and fool myself into thinking like everything is solved now or everything is going to be right. You're very, you're guarded. Your guard is up because of the experience that you have lived in the past that has taught you to be well guarded. But then we always want to make sure with the 9 of Wands that it doesn't cross into territory where we're being so guarded that we are actually limiting our own opportunities. I'm also seeing that this could be you just simply being overwhelmed by options with this Ace of Discs. I'm also just seeing that this 9 of Wands suggests that you have experienced great courage and perseverance to get to this Ace of Discs. Like, this has been something that has come after a long time of hardship, and you've overcome that hardship. You've achieved success, even though it wasn't always easy, even though you had to fight your way here. And having this new opportunity is giving you, for some of you, I think it's restoring your faith, or it's strengthening your faith. It's giving you a renewed sense of purpose because you've come through this trial and you're stronger for it. You're stronger on the other side of it. And then you have this physical blessing, this like immediate, I mean, not immediate, but this clear gratification to follow everything that you have sacrificed and how hard you have fought. And so it's given purpose to this whole fight. It's given purpose to your history as a warrior in love. And this is a beautiful place to be in right now. Now, what I see might be threatening to this is a relationship in your life that may feel off balance right now, off kilter.
Two of Cups in reverse, I see a kind of block in an important relationship in your life or a potential love connection, but something that feels like, wow, we're not actually connecting well right now. Something feels off balance. It feels off kilter. There isn't this equal share of giving and receiving, and that is making your heart go wild with feeling into hypotheticals of what this means, and it feels emotionally chaotic for you right now because this doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel balanced at the moment, and it's that is threatening your inner sense of strength and wellness and solid grounding and solid footing, which you really do have. Regardless of this relationship, regardless of this person, you do have access to riches at your fingertips. You do have some sort of new opportunity that really could open the door to something else, and it's something that you have fought a long road along to get there. And so facing something that feels uncomfortable with someone else, I'm almost seeing it as a test, Pile, for a test of your of having your own back, and testing whether or not you turn to the resources that really are yours, your courage, your perseverance, and whatever this Ace of Discs represents to you, whether you look at that and you're able to see, I have this regardless of whether these outer circumstances are making me feel comfortable or good or uncomfortable and bad. My sense of well-being and my opportunities are not limited based on what this other person thinks of me or how they are treating me, even if it's sending me into this emotional turmoil. It's my test right now to actually question that. To listen to my feelings, but don't jump to conclusions about what those feelings mean for me. Don't let those feelings dictate the beliefs I have about myself, my path, my life, or what kind of partner I am, or what kind of partner I deserve. It also could be, if you're not having issues with someone, it could just be that what is threatening to this Ace of Discs, Nine of Wands place of strength is the lack of a blessed partnership, a soulmate, not even necessarily romantic, but just a soulmate, deep connection with someone. I'm seeing that some of you feel maybe that you don't have a connection in your life where you accept and embrace someone else's differences and they accept and embrace yours. That's what intimacy truly is at its deepest level. Intimacy is not two people who are exactly alike getting close together because they're exactly alike. It's the closing the gap between you and someone else, in spite of all the unique features of each of you, even when they clash, even when they trigger each other, even when they don't seem to go together. It's becoming closer to someone and understanding those parts of them that are very different from you, that really are, that is what is fodder for intimacy. That's what grows intimacy, true intimacy. So whether this is a partnership where that isn't happening, or you simply lack any kind of relationship where this could happen, it feels like that is threatening to this opportunity you have, this place of strength, of being this warrior who's gone through so much, who's now very well defended and has gained this wisdom from what life has taught them, and it's led them to new opportunities. But this really isn't about this. Your brain might be trying to link these feelings that are coming from the lack of this partnership, or this partnership that isn't quite balanced right now. Your brain may be trying to link those to things about you, to this opportunity in your life, to this position you're in, this gift you've received, whatever this is, and also to the kind of warrior you are. But what's important to see is that these are outer circumstances that don't really have anything to do with this. This part of you is untouched by this unless you make it affect it, and it doesn't need to affect it. These are really separate things. What I'm seeing on the other side of this challenge is 2 king cards in reverse. Whenever 2 kings appear in a reading, first of all, we see that as a partnership of equals. So I find it really interesting that these are in reverse, and so is this in reverse. And it's like this is a partnership, and then here's 2 elements of the partner. It could be, okay, there's a few different interpretations I have for this. First of all, it could be that what is on the other side of this challenge for you is finding a partner, or your partner growing into a person who has this innate ability to support others. And I think the reversals here are signifying that this is outer energy coming at you. This isn't you being a king of wands or you being a king of discs. This is someone who has this innate ability to really actively support others in this way that just exudes like a true leader. Having a partner who leads you in your passions, who is right there at the front of the line with you as you pioneer new territory. This is someone who actually encourages action to make ideas happen, actualizes ideas, not just dreams them up. And they're able to make other people believe in those ideas too, because they have this kind of actualizing way about them, this actualizing action. So I see this in a potential partner for you, and then I also see this King of Discs in a potential partner for you, someone who really, really provides for you, someone who is materially successful, and is able to provide a kind of physical stability for you that only helps you grow and feel safe and secure as well. So these things are maybe in a partnership that are on the other side of this current challenge that you're facing. Now, another interpretation is that this Two of Cups, it could just be that the Two of Cups that is threatening right now, the Ace of Discs and Wands, like threatening, that somehow feels like it's threatening this new opportunity for you, you having come so far, like threatens your progress, is just a relationship that's unconventional in some way. And now I'm seeing that reversal as in a different light. It's it's unconventional in some way, and that's why this energy is different. It could be also that there is a kind of a likeness between you and this person that is almost eerie. Like it's not, this isn't as much about focusing on intimacy coming from differences and accepting differences, but actually what's unusual about this is how alike you are. And it is about seeing a mirror image of yourself right now. Whether it's that or something else, there could be another reason why this is unconventional. But this is about like embracing the unconventional nature of this relationship and not seeing it as something that cancels out your progress or takes you away from this opportunity. It doesn't have to take you away from this opportunity, even if it's causing emotional chaos because it's coming out of left field. It doesn't need to. It's not necessarily an obstacle to this Ace of Discs opportunity that you have. And seeing the king, both of these kings in reverse, it's almost like matching. It's like these are the two members of this unconventional partnership. And what's on the other side of embracing this rather than resisting it is a very unconventional, beautiful relationship that's between equals, king to king. It's between equals, and what you're able to do for each other is provide this really physical kind of support that's logical, that's grounded, and then that other partner is able to provide the the spark, the inspiration, the ideas that help the King of Discs move out of their comfort zone.
Pile 4, please leave me a comment below and let me know what is going on with your life, what is resonant here. This is so exciting, and I'm really excited for you. Please like and subscribe if you have not yet. And if you want to support this work, please consider becoming a patron for only $3 a month. Check out the link below. There's so many more goodies. I love you very much, and I'll see you next time.